that I can love my brother. Not to look at their race, their religion, or their color. You love those Presbyterians, God. You love the gays and the lesbians. You love the Buddhists and the prostitutes. You're not like us. We always change. We see through our sin. You love us anyway. You love us anyway.
Dream interpretation going on right now there, so I'm going to move a little bit. Denny was doing a picture and she had started it before the woman even walked into the tent, and it had a sunflower and also had the sun. And the woman looked over and Denny started explaining the picture, and the woman showed us that she had a tattoo of a sunflower on her arm. And the words that Denny spoke were exactly right. And then we got to pray for her, and she was telling us that she was feeling like she couldn't feel God very well. So we prayed for her, and she saw light, and she saw gold, and she felt this peace rushing into her. And I started crying because I could just feel God like working on her. It was very hard to pray and very hard to talk, but she was really blessed. And then we sent her over to the prophetic tent.
Now everybody dance.
Okay, so these are our friends Josh and Chelsea Shaw from Father's House Church, and they came out to help today and have been walking around the square to talk to people and pray for them. And I just wanted them to share a few of the testimonies of what God's been doing with them today.
Start flowing. We just got words over each one of them, prayed, and each one of them encountered God's presence. And then they got baptized in the Spirit, and each one of them said they felt fire fill their chest. And right after, I got a word over a guy's leg being short or something, like, dude, sit down. So he sat down, and I showed him because he didn't even know. And I had one of the kids who got baptized in the Spirit pray over him. Dude's leg shot out, and the security guard came up watching me. And they were just rocked, and then we just got more identity going for like a good while then.
When the doors were open, we were there and just hovering around outside the tent and inviting anybody who looked halfway interested. They would be looking at our list there, and I would say, do you see anything on the menu that looks good to you? And we just invite them in to get prayed for. Usually it took a little persuasion to bring them in off the street. We pray for them. A lot of them got prophetic words.
Polar opposite from when it ended to when we began, because she didn't want prayer at all, she was kind of like really sketchy, and then afterward, like God, you could just see God's peace rocking her.
Yeah, her countenance was completely different from when we first saw her. She was just like in a lot of pain and anger, and then she was so overflowing with God's joy that she was going around ministering to other people and just sharing the love of God with other people and hugging people and just full of God's love. It was awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Indian family, a son, obviously the immigrant, and then his mother and father were with him, and through him helping translate, we found out that his father had pain in his back, long-term pain. So we took him in, and long story short, or medium-sized story short, he got, all his pain was gone, and he did feel presence. You know, he's trying to express it, and it's going translated through this guy who doesn't speak very good English, but it was like smoothing out, like trying to express that he was feeling peace, you know, and his pain was all gone.
A girl was walking by and a guy was like whistling at us, and you could just tell he had this like demonic like presence on him. And we went over to him and we just started speaking identity and truth to him, and he was just like, he started receiving identity and receiving who he is, that he's the Son of God. And you could just see like the look on his face. He changed from being, his whole countenance changed, and he was just so full of the joy of the Lord, and he was so hungry for what God was doing. And he actually followed us around after that, got filled with the Spirit, and started praying for other people. And it was just amazing. He's so hungry for the things of God now.
Because I'm just feeling so out of it, like sleepy. Then we found out later that he couldn't ever bend his neck like that. It actually, that was the manifestation of the pain, neck pain was gone. All his neck pain was gone, all his leg pain was gone as far as I could tell. And so then we just led him to Jesus, and he made a sincere decision to believe in Jesus.
Every now and then I'd look over to someone, just looking at people's faces as the picture was being made for them. Just the smiles was just really, really great. So I think we got to touch a lot of people, which was cool.
People always feel better when they leave than when they get there. And it may be just mildly something gentle, or a guy could feel totally different because he got saved. Or I heard stories of people where they got so filled up from being touched by the presence that they blasted it back on the people who gave them. They learned already how to transfer it back. So it was a little bit, yeah, lots of fun.